All right, ladies and gentlemen, my goodness, another week has passed. It felt like a month. All right, let's get things going. How is the Icy family today? Hopefully, everyone is doing well, staying safe. I know there's a lot of storms going on in the Midwest and the tornado alley, so hopefully, you guys are staying safe. All right, so we got Railfan K for the Icy Cookie. We got Kyle Stevens. We got Emma Point. We got George. Welcome. I think that's the first time I've seen you here. We got BCF Parts, the captain of the Honor Guard. And we've got Chuck. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to all the lurkers. Welcome to all the friends, family, and those who will be watching on the replay. I am your Ice Dragon, rayronvr. So hopefully everyone had a good week. As you can see, there's going to be some changes. A little bit of changes. I've been working on the layout. I've also been working on the stream. So something that may have automatically kind of popped out at you is this little stuff up above my head. you almost missed the stream. So we've got a few little knickknacks that we've changed a few things. So this little thing up here is called a Streamlab label. And for those of you who are subscribed or just recently hit that subscribe button while on the stream, it'll pop up your name up here. Now, it is temperamental because it is YouTube, and I think you got to change some settings to make sure that when you subscribe, it's like publicly viewed or something like that. So it is finicky. If you don't see your name up there, it happens because of hashtag technology. The newest Dragon Knight and the top dragon, that'll be discussed at a later date. So a little bit of a cliffhanger for you guys. We will talk about those when the time is right. So kind of something I'm bringing back from my old school days of Twitch, because I used to have something like this when I was streaming on Twitch way back when in another life. But I decided, you know what, let's go ahead and start bringing this back a little bit. And yeah, so a few little changes and knickknacks for the stream. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into, before we get into news, the news is a little bit light. There's a few little nuggets of good information that we'll kind of talk about, but nothing like too crazy that we've seen like in the last 2 to 3 weeks. It's been absolutely crazy. But let's go ahead and take a look at our train for the day. Here it is, hashtag on the rails. We've got our brand new BLI F3A units, or, well, they're technically, well, whatever we want to call it. But anyways, those are the F units from BLI. Got them in the other day. They are the MKT Texas Special, pulling our Texas Special train. And so that's what we got on the rails. And above me is something a little bit brand new as well. Finally got our signal system kind of up and going again. This little guy used to be on my testing range modular that used to be on front row on the rails camera there before we swapped it out with the wave modular. Try to say that 10 times fast. And so finally was able to resurrect the signal. That signal is connected to what we call an SE8C, which is basically our board that communicates from LocalNet to the Digitrax to the signal head, which also allows us to do JMRI integration. So yeah, and I can also control it from my tablet, because the commands used to switch those lights from yellow, flashing yellow, green, and red are basically signal commands that are from the layout. So think of it as like an a DS64, DS74, that you gotta use like commands to switch those from thrown to close. Same thing works here. You basically send throw and close commands to the signals to change the lights. So that's how that works. So with that, if you guys, I need a little help from you guys. You guys are going to be the dispatchers today. So if you want to see this train run, just give me a green in the chat. Type out green. Or if you have like a green emote, go ahead and spam it in chat. And then we'll switch this from red to green. And let's get our MKT up and going. So again, spam green or any green emotes, and we'll get this train off and running. But yeah, it took me a hot minute to get all this set up. It's got it connected to I think it's an RJ10 is what the name of the cable is. But yeah, so there we go. There's we got one green there. All right. So let me show you guys how this works. And there's another green. Oh my goodness, I gotta bring this down. Hang on. Let's live chat highlighter. All right, there we go. Bring you back down. All right, and there's some green emotes there. Awesome. You guys ready for the highball green? Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so let me just bring this over here. So again, this is our switch signals on our engine driver. And right now that is connected to number 259. And so we're gonna go ahead and switch that to highball green, and let's get this show on the road. All right. All right, you guys said it. You got the green check marks. There's a green from Chuck. All right, let's do this. So I'm gonna send a close command. There's the highball green. Let's go ahead and tell the engine, or tell the driver to get the engine going. All right, highball green, we are rolling. So today we've got our AHM River Aussie mix of the Texas Special. We got some Frisco cars in there, and that's going to be our train for today. As I drop my controller everywhere. All right. Get that back on the charger. And we are off to the races. All right, with our train now on the rails, let's go ahead and go on a field trip. So we've got a few things to talk about. So Broadway Limited has their suggestion portal finally up on their channel or on their website. So basically you go to club and then you go to product suggestion, and then they finally have the portal here. Click on suggest, and then you can basically give all the information that you need. And there's a lot here. I didn't realize they wanted so much detail. They want photos. They want to know if there's any prototypes, road names and paint schemes that are appropriate for the model, prototypes still in existence, what era. So it's a lot more complicated than I thought. So give me a hot minute. I'll get all of the ones that you guys suggested on my community post about what you guys want, and we'll go ahead and input as many as I can. Will take me a little bit of time because there's a lot of detail to submit to Broadway Limited, but props to them that they want actual good information. So that's what I'm going to be doing probably after our New Braunfels train show, as Railfanning K has alluded to. We'll talk about that after the news. Yep, field trip. Rayron train news, the only news. I appreciate that, Kyle. Again, I'm just a random dude that just collects all the information. There are other channels that have their exclusive like news as well, which we'll be talking about as well. So I try to do the best I can to get you guys the information. That's the thing. I just want you guys to be informed. And again, I am biased towards HO. I'll try to give N some love. And when Lionel gets their O catalogs out, I try to give a little bit of love to O Gauge. But yeah. They want you to do. I love doing this, though. It's fun. It's absolutely fun. All right, let's see here. So, yeah, that is the BLI product suggestion portal. Okay, so next thing we got is BLI again has come out with volume 2 of their VIP Club newsletter. Now, I'm just going to show you guys kind of the end scale stuff. They have some other pictures to include the PRRS1 design CAD work that they're doing on it. It looks amazing, but I'm not going to show you guys out of the respect of the VIP Club, because again, it is kind of a pay to get type of service. So I will just showcase what we got here, and then you guys can either sign up for the VIP service or do some digging. You'll probably find the pictures anyway, but I'm trying to give that respect to BLI, even though there is no NDA associated with their VIP Newsletters, I still want to try to give them a little bit of respect because I do have a lot of respect for the company. So basically, their listings of updates of certain models, those are the ones that I'm really want to just highlight from the newsletter. Everything else is kind of really cool and it is exclusive to those paying members. So I want to be fair to that regard as well. There's no new things about HO in the VIP newsletter. However, there's a lot of updates in the N scale side. Let's see here. Oh, I appreciate that, BC Parts. So the G Scale is actually part of the G Scale Club here in San Antonio. They're part of the Texas Transportation Museum. The Texas Transportation Museum has a lot of sub-clubs part of that museum. Amory, which is the one I'm part of, has the HO layout. And then you've got SN Tracks, or Sand Tracks, that does the T-Track layouts, plus they're building their own permanent one. They've got the G Scale model and so forth. So... all right, let's see. Try doing your own news model train series, but it didn't work well. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yep, the PRS-1. Yep. Not your Aero Road, but absolutely beautiful engine. It is. It absolutely is. If they come out with an undecorated one, I'll buy that one. Because undecorated allows me to put Missouri Pacific lines on it. So I'm open to engines that are outside of my railroad being undecorated. So that way I can put my own scheme onto it. Because it's actually really easy for MPL. All right, so for N scalers, we've got the Northerns, design's about 95%. We've got the FEFUP Northerners, about 90% complete. Cab forwards for the AC5, AC4, about 30% complete. And you guys are going to be getting the Shark Noses for the gathering data package now. Same thing with the 30, the 35s, the T1s, the J1s, the H10s, and the PRR Z74 business cars, 10% complete. So the volume 2 of this newsletter, basically more N scale heavy, but some cool pictures for the HO guys out there as well. So again, be part of the VIP club if you want to see those pictures, or you know it's out there. But yeah, you'll buy their painted brass unlettered if I want to. Fair enough. Yep, fair enough. Okay. So we'll get into some more manufacturers here. So here's one we don't talk about too often, and that's Bowser. So Bowser has announced their new fish belly 2-bay hoppers in HO scale and 70-ton 2-bay covered hoppers as well. So they have a nice variety. The cost is actually not too bad, $30 each. So we've got a wide variety of road numbers here and wide variety of railroads. So pretty cool here. I don't think anything. It's mostly well, we got Chicago Great Western. That's interesting. DT&I. There's not Minneapolis and St. Louis. Almost looks like Chicago Northwestern there for a second. New Haven, Norfolk and Western. There's Southern Pacific, Union Pacific. It's pretty cool. XLNE. Phosphorus Products. So pretty cool. Again, we don't hear from Bowser too often, so I figure, you know what? We'll talk about it for a little bit. All right, let's see here. What do I... Give me a hot minute real quick. So the B&O, C&O, and WM have your eyes. Nice. Very nice. Okay, so from Rapido, they've got this new interior detail that they're going to be doing on their GP40s to make it look really nice. There's been some comments which have been quite interesting, but I think Aurora Miniatures kind of blew the detail away when it comes to the fans that they actually spin. So they've kind of set the bar high, and there's been a lot of people saying they hope these spin too. Well, we'll see. But that's really the only thing from Rapido this week is their new details on these fans. And I know it's a gimmick when it comes to the spinning fans, but I'm kind of getting attached to the spinning fan concept. So we'll see. It's just kind of funny. Okay, Atherin, I'll give you guys a link to this one. They have their latest product announcements. They talked about a lot of their new diesels that are coming out. Beautiful SP. Some box cars that are coming out. Again, when it comes to freight, it's just, it is what it is, unless it's like a fantasy schemed. But some interesting box cars there. But yeah, you can see the whole details on that link that I sent you. Scale Trains came out with their newsletter, and the only thing that really piqued my interest was they kind of starting the same thing as Broadway Limited has their discount selection. Now Scale Trains is coming out with their discount depot. So if that's something that interests you, they have the whole discount department here. So I was kind of cruising through it a little bit. So you see some discounts here. We've got an ES44 for $270 and all that. So I'll give you guys a link to this if any of these appeal to you. But just letting you guys know that Scale Trains now has their own discount corner, just like Broadway Limited. And, it's only a matter of time before they have their subscription service, too. I'm waiting for Scale Trains to do that. So it's only a matter of time. These companies look at each other, and, it is what it is. And it's like, okay, you got that idea from Broadway Limited, and vice versa. And it's interesting. It's interesting. Okay, so our wonderful friend over at Railfanning at Around the Layout podcast, I'll give a link to this episode as well. There was actually some news that broke from their podcast. They had Stephen Priest from Class 1 Model Works. Now, you guys probably remember Class 1 Model Works, and they're famous for their heavy loads to the press flat cars. I got one from the National Train Show at the NMRA over in Texas. And over on that podcast, they actually announced that they're going to be doing an engine. They're going to be doing the GP40. So that was announced on the podcast. Again, you can take a look at the link there to get the full details. But the one thing that caught my attention when I was listening to this podcast was that Steven was saying they're making their own DCC decoders, and that caught my eye, or caught my ears, I should say, because it's going to be interesting to see what they do. And I kind of made a comment down here. It's like, if you're going to do your own DCC decoder, make sure it's NMRA compliant. I am foot stomping the need for a capacitor or keep alive at least 3 seconds. And then I said Bluetooth, but again, Bluetooth is luxury accessory in my opinion. But those were the big things that I'm definitely looking for. So yeah, Class 1 Model Works is getting into diesels and locomotives, which is kind of cool. And I think the big emphasis was going to be on railroads that hasn't been done before. So it will be interesting to see what they bring to the table as well. So just another company that's going to be getting into making diesel. So again, highly recommend going over there and listen to the whole interview. It was really good. I love Around the Layout. There's so much good stuff, good interviews, just good things to learn. I love it. Absolutely love it. So, and with that, guys, we come to kind of the last thing. Again, that's pretty much for the main news. It was kind of a light news week. But tomorrow we'll be going to the New Braunfels train show here in Texas and New Braunfels. So I'll be over there recording. If you guys are going to go to New Braunfels, find a backpack with all the pins on it, with the camera on it. That'll be me. And if you haven't got a holographic sticker, feel free to, come say hi, and I'll give you a holographic sticker. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that's a record. 17 minutes. Not too bad. Not too bad for the news, considering that the last 3 we've been having almost an hour. So, absolutely crazy. All right, let's go ahead and get to all the cameras here. What's the benefits of creating your own DCC decoder? You cut out the middleman. There's a lot of businessy things, and even I don't know the businessy things about making their own decoder, but the big thing is that you have a say from start all the way to finish of the design process, and you can probably control how much the decoder costs, where they come from. So that's the big things that I can think about. And then from my understanding, they want to create some special features that hasn't been seen in the market before. So that's another good thing about building your own decoder, is that if you see there's a gap in the market for something decoder-wise, you can innovate. So really, innovation is kind of a big thing, too, if you make your own decoder. But yeah, I don't think they talked about too much. They're going to announce that a little bit later. I think more of what the decoder is going to do. But again, for me, I just hope it's NMRA compliant with JMRI. Make it easy to program. That's a big thing for me. Again, biased. And have some sort of capacitor. Because in this day and age, you need some sort of capacitor for your trains. Because dirt is a thing. Track is a thing. So, yeah. So if you guys have any news that I have missed, feel free to talk about it in the chat, and then we can also go over it. Because, again, I'm only one person. So if you guys have any news as well, if you have any train shows that you're going to be going to coming up, I know we've got, I think Timonium is tomorrow as well, or could be the week after. I could be wrong, but I know Timonium's coming up this month. So if you ever have any train shows, if you have any news that I missed, feel free to share. And we're just going to go ahead and continue talking about the layout and enjoy some railfanning. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I will get one just to see what they are so that way we can report on it. And hopefully there's a scheme, or, you know, maybe we'll get lucky and they do an undecorated. So that way we can grab an undecorated and I'll decorate it into Mopac. So again, apologize, not too much going on in the news, but that was basically the roundup that I saw. Again, slightly biased towards HO scale. I think there's a few N scale announcements that got released that I know I've missed. But again, I keep it on the HO because that's my modeling style, my modeling size. But if something big comes out on N scale, I'll try to report on it. But again, I'm only one person. I can only get as much as I can. Okay, so let's talk about some new things on the layout. So the big one for this week, which you guys kind of saw already, I'll get rid of my face cam, is we finally have our working lights. It may be just a light, a one lonely light, but it is an operational light that I geek over because it's just nice to see that I can control the lights on here. It's kind of a childhood dream just to be able to interact with the layout. Eventually, I'll have this connected to my dispatch panel or panel pro in JMRI. So that way I can show you guys how to control it from a panel. Again, this is connected to an old school SC8C. I do have a video series called How Far Can We Take Digitrax where I go a little bit more into detail with it. But the new one that kind of replaced the AC8C is this guy right here. So this is the brand new SE74 that allows you to do several things. This allows you to control turnouts. This allows you to control the signals. And I do have some markings on here. I've coded it to make sure it's slow motion machines, so like torus switch machines and so forth. And then I've also got all of my switch numbers associated with this guy right here as well. So this is the new one that you'll see on the market. The SE8C has been discontinued, so it's no longer manufactured. So that's what I got from, that's what I'm currently working on for Digitrax. Is it lit on both sides, or is it just a side of the camera that is not showing? The latter. Oh, it is both, actually. It has a double signal head on it that's on both sides. So you can't see it from here, but it is a double-sided signal head, the Darth Vader mask type of signal head. And yes, it is lit up, it is connected, and I can control it. It's just the camera, there's no camera angle to really pick it up. Actually, I think there is one. Hang on. Yes, there is. Hang on. I can show you that with the onboard camera train. So give me a it is yellow, and I do need to change that, but it's fine. There's no signal logic right now that's available because I don't have it programmed in JMRI. That's my next step. So this is from the camera train. You can see at the bottom right hand corner, you can see that head is lit up to yellow. I appreciate that. Yeah, the Texas Special, I love it. I love this train. Wish to make some B&L style signals. Hard to come by nowadays. Fair enough. I'm not an expert on the signal types. grab whatever I can get. But I do actually have a bias. I do like the dwarf signal, or the Darth Vader style signal. All right, let me see if I can change that to red. We'll get this prototypical here. Let me see. I think that is... See, I don't remember. I don't know what number that is. Oh, okay. So we got a flashing yellow. The 257. Okay, we can change it. Hey, there we go. So now it's set to red. Okay, lining two trains into each other. No. I appreciate that, Railfanning. Okay. So yeah, I'm happy we finally got a signal up and going. And eventually, each modular will have its own block zone as well. What I've kind of realized, though, is I need another PM74 to really make this work the way I need it to. Well, really, I need 2 more PM74s. So it's still a work in progress. So one other thing I want to kind of showcase, and I'll probably do a video on this, but the aircraft carrier is getting an overhaul. So I removed all the tracks because the whole purpose of this little display was to showcase all the functionalities of what we already have on the layout. So that portion of the testing has been completed. I didn't need it anymore because I understood how everything works. In the future, what we're going to do is we're going to put all of our Digitrax equipment, what we call the brain of the system, on this little stand. Eventually we'll have a Command Station 240, and I've got these little clipboard things that you pull the wire into to make it a little bit easier. Next to it, we'll have like a 220 booster. We'll have the PM74s going to each of the blocks because the PM74 allows me circuit breaker protection and block detection all into one, which I love. But right now, my actual PM74 is kind of buried now out of the way. And then I'll eventually have my duplex controller, radio duplex, and then I've got my LNWI. Can't really see it, but I have my LNWI already hooked up onto this little device. Because the whole and right here you can see the SE86. It's actually underneath it. And goodbye all the pieces because I forgot to put it down. I'll grab those in a second. But yeah, you got the SE86, and then we'll go from there. So that is the brain of the system, and then all the pieces that will go with it. And the little passengers aboard are safe once again. Yep. Yeah, we're not gonna be like CSX. Is that shots fired? Is that a little too soon? A lot of train crashes lately. Anyways, we'll get you guys to all the cameras here. All right, Kyle. No worries. No worries. I think UP had a crash lately, too. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right, 180. We'll bring up the phone camera here, and we'll bring this up. Sweet. And then one little piece that I need to figure out what I'm going to do with. No one was seriously. Yeah, that's what I heard. Thank God. Yeah, thank God there was no significant injuries. Okay, so one piece that I'm trying to figure out what to do with is this old school BDN4N. I do have an SE74 I can connect to this, but I think I've made the BDN4N obsolete. I'm still trying to figure out what to do with it. I've got some ideas. I'll probably put this on a different modular that I'll be using for Elmendorf. But, yeah, I've kind of made the BDM4N a little bit obsolete thanks to the PM74. That's one thing about Digitrax is that as they advance their equipment, it makes the old equipment obsolete. Oh, and then also on this aircraft carrier, I put a UP5, which you can control your plug into. And I got my UT6 controller. I think that's what this was, UT6. But yeah, I can plug this back in and actually use it again. So I made that kind of obsolete when I got my LNWI. Oh, I love this truck sometimes. All right, Railfanning. I can't see it anyway, so it's all good. It's all good. All right. Let's get you guys. We'll do some Railfanning. I'm not sure how long we'll stay on today just because I do have that train show tomorrow morning to get to. If you guys are going to a train show, just keep in mind, I think the weather is going to be bad right at 8 o'clock in the morning, so drive safe. Construction is also a nightmare, so make sure you plan for that. A lot of closures in the San Antonio area. But, yeah. Oh, Sean, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I know you do a lot of comments on the shorts. I do what I can. I'm glad you guys enjoy them. I'm glad you enjoy them. Thank you for watching, because I know your guys' time is just as valuable. So, again, thank you for taking your time out of your day to watch them. The biggest thing is escapism. If I can entertain you for like a minute or two, then I've done my job. All right, let's go ahead and take it to this camera view here. But, yeah, welcome to this stream. But I try to do my best to provide escapism. I know with my news from time to time, and my reviews and my thoughts on things, sometimes it can blur escapism a little bit. But I'm that type of person, especially when it comes to model railroading, I kind of have an unfilter. I speak my mind, I speak my opinion on things. But again, take my stuff with a grain of salt. You know, figure out what works best for you. And then, yeah. And that's a big thing. And we were talking about it kind of this morning, too. So today, there was a lot of good streams on today. This morning, we had Steve Childers. So if you haven't subscribed to him, subscribe to him. He has a retirement railroad every Friday mornings. I'll get you guys this camera view here. And then also, we've got Anthony Dodge had a great stream today. He does the 3-rail European trains, mostly German. I call him... He's basically the German ambassador because he's got a lot of German trains, which is awesome. Let's see. So you bought some trains from Z's, and when I took cover off of them, they had circuit boards. I don't even know what they do. You're an analog. You don't have... or DCC. Gotcha. You bought 2 scale trains. Gondola car stay from eBay. Really nice. So I guess I need to kind of explain myself on why this monitor is up against the wall. So back in my old club, there was a layout that was basically 100% shelf layout, and nobody wanted them. And so it was like, you know, I could probably do something with this because I still needed my turns before I bought the actual corners of the Wilding corners, as they're named to be. And I inherited that piece that's sitting up on the wall there, and then that layout was part of the aircraft carrier. Was the aircraft carrier for my control system. Now it's part of that layout, And then Harbor Point was also part of that as well. So those 3 pieces made up an entire shelf layout that got chainsawed. So I'm still trying to figure out what to do with that piece over there. All right, is it possible that the circuit boards could be for DCC? What scale, Sean? Is it for... I need to know the scale and the company. If you know those two, I could probably help you out. You're a retired U.S. Army medic. You got the rest of my life to enjoy. My hobby is to take all the time you want. Awesome, Sean. Thank you for your service as well. And hopefully you're living the good life. Appreciate your service. It depends, BCA parts. Some older DCC decoders don't allow you to do that. Most modern DCC decoders, yeah. And that's why I need to ask, like, what brand, and brand is a big one. All right, welcome back, Kyle. Welcome back. Oh, so you bought a lot of Mike's Train House, a.k.a. MTH. Engines in the U.S. So MTH is one of those that I'm not... Let me put it this way. Programming them is a pain in the butt because MTH and the Proto Sound 3s and their lineup, you have to program what's called on the main. Not necessarily a bad thing to program on the main. However, you got to be very vigilant on what engines you have on your layout. If you have all your layouts off, then yeah, go ahead and program it. But the problem is, if you make one mistake, you could end up defaulting your entire engine on the layout. So you can't really program Proto Sound 3s on a programming track. It was made to program on the main. So that was always a headache of mine. I've never programmed any MTH for that reason. And I have yet to open up a shell of an MTH. I'm about to soon. And just by my first attempts on the MTHs, I'm not looking forward to it. They're just as bad as Atherin. At least with the Steam side of things. But I do have to dig into my MTHs here pretty soon. Because I got 2 that are DCC ready. My George W. Bush and my 1943, I think is the other one. The World War II Heritage. I've got to open those up. Because those are DCC ready. Because I didn't want the Proto Sounds in them. And they were on sale from Train World. So I got those 2 and I got to open those up. And I don't know if Proto Sound 3 can run from DCC to DC. I know some newer BLI decoders allow you to go either DCC and DC. I still don't like that. I still prefer separating the two. Now, with one exception, if you have Blunamis are like the perfect decoder for either DCC or DC. Because it just picks up the power, and that's it. Everything is controlled via Bluetooth on your phone. Which is why I like it so much. Okay, let's see here. Let's take that off. Take that off. We'll take the 180 off. Let's do some railfanning shots. Let's do this one. We haven't done this one in a while. Oh, and Kyle, I know you were talking about if your battery dies, my engine quit running on the MTH, is there a way to fix it? If your battery dies, your engine's quit running. What's on the battery? Oh, your MTH O gauge. Oh my goodness, I keep forgetting the MTH is also an O gauge. I can't help you with O gauge. I can help you in I have HO MTH, not O gauge. I wasn't even thinking about O gauge. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not. I am completely naive to the O gauge scale, so I don't know how to help you there. I'm sorry, Sean. Maybe someone in the chat can help you. Or it's like anything else, YouTube. You got 3 MTTCEs, 2 NS SD70s, and 1 red still UP flag scheme. You're running NS units with your Genesis 4141. Nice, nice. Yeah, I don't know how to fix it. I'm sorry. Like I said, maybe YouTube it or Google it or something like that. Yeah, so I run HO. I don't have anything in O scale, O gauge. I am completely naive to the scale. But yeah, I know. So earlier this morning on Steve Travelers, we were talking about my bias towards Walthers and Pico. I don't think I've shared this story on this channel yet, but I think I've talked about Atlas and their issues with their frogs. There was a defect in their manufacturing process that the frogs, I think, weren't glued right or weren't soldered right or whatever, and the frogs would literally pop off. It was like a metal piece that they just snapped into place, for lack of a better phrase. And I didn't realize just how loose one frog was. This was when I was really young. And my steam engine picked it, bent the cattle, the cow shield, and tipped my entire train over. And then I was working with Atlas Swiss tracks on a previous module for my old club, and we ran into so many issues with the freaking frogs. Some weren't lined right, some had to be filed down. The crossing over the X intersections were really bad. It was just, Atlas was a pain to work with. So I understand Atlas has their place. They are cheap to get. So if you want like a simple 4x8 sheet of a layout, yeah, go Atlas, because it's going to just be very simple and to the point. But if you start investing into like a modular layout, into a modular itself, or into like your final layout, that's when I would highly, highly recommend look at Walthers, look at Pico. And I think what I'm going to be doing in the future, I think I am going to go Walthers for my layout, for my final like grand project layout, the layout that I just want to kind of retire with. And the reason why I want to go with Walthers is because they're coming out with a lot of innovative track. They've got the single crossovers that goes left to right, right to left. They got the double crossovers that are DCC friendly, just came out with. They're doing a lot of things to innovate track, and I love when companies do that. Pico is good, don't get me wrong, but I think with my Pico track, I'm going to keep it with my modular layout. And that way, that gives me some experience with both, and then I can tell you the pros and cons of each system. So that's what I think I'm going to do. And I love how Walthers, for the frog connections, they have this little tab on the outer end of the track, so that way you just take that little hook and solder it and you'll be good to go. You're thinking of going Walthers as well? Yeah. But again, Walthers and Pico are my top competing #1 track. You can't go wrong with either. And originally Pico came out with their Unifrogs, which I think was a brilliant idea, and then Walther saw that and they're coming out with their Unifrog equivalent as well now. What does DCC friendly mean? That is definitely a technical term for sure. I say the term, but I'm trying to remember what exactly is the technical speak towards it. Hang on, because I've forgotten exactly what that means. Here, I'll give you the wiki definition. So let me, because I don't want to tell you wrong either. Because again, I have a memory of a goldfish, so I will get you the right. Let's see. Okay, so this is from DCC Wiki. Let's see. The most obvious feature of a DCC compatible turnout is the gaps between the electricity separate the frog from the closure of the point rails. The frog is often unpowered. Others may use a cast plastic frog or a hybrid of metal wheels. Metal rails and plastic. So the big thing is, how is your frog either isolated or non-isolated is what you have to look into. So basically this comes down to wiring. How do you wire the frog? So a DC, here's another kind of definition. So a DCC friendly turnout is one that minimizes the risk of that happening by electrically isolating its rail points, closer rails, the frog, and powering each set of points and closer rails the same as their adjacent stock rails, or switching the frog polarity depending on the route lined through the turnout. So those are some definitions. I think here's one from trains.com. That's one I just read. So trains.com gives you that definition. So again, depending on what source you use, a little bit different terminology, but like I said, it basically comes down to how do you want to isolate your frog and switch the polarity. I like the Unifrog system and the newer Walther system because it allows you to either choose, you can choose whether you want to keep that frog isolated or if you actually want to power it and power it through something that's going to switch the polarity. I like tortoise switch machines. That's usually my go-to ones because you just got to wire everything, and inside tortoise switch machine, it will switch the polarity for you depending on where the points are. That's where you actually solder rail A and B to the tortoise switch machine, because then the frog wire that comes out, usually you put like a green wire to it. That changes the polarity of it. But again, I think I kind of talked through that in my How Far Can We Take Digitrack series. So, gotcha. Okay. Your brother had a problem with your O gauge. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I wish I can do all the scales so I can help you, because I'm the type of person I love helping others. It's just space, time, and money. You know, it's all the stereotypical problems when it comes to this hobby. Welcome, Warwolf. How are you? Hopefully you're doing well. Oh, so your brother had problems with his HO switcher. Oh, wow. Oh, look, we have a celebrity. Hello, Heath. How you doing, good sir? Now, if you guys really want to get into the technical weeds of model railroading, go follow Heath at Humanity Junction. He is the pioneer of seeing how far you can take technology with model railroading. For me, I see how far I can take digitracks. With him, it's technology. So go give him a subscription. So you took them. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. There's a celebrity here where? You took them out? Okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't know anything about O-Gauge. Maybe, so there's some O-Gauge YouTubers that could potentially help. Check out Eric's Trains is a big one that I follow in the O-Gauge scale. I think Chris Trains is another one that you can look at O-Gauge. You've got good news for me. One train by out getting to see the CP2816 come by his town. That's one news that I really didn't talk about. The schedule release of the CP2816. We can talk about that actually. The CP. So if you guys don't know, CPKC's got their steam engine. It's going to be doing their tour. Let's see. Let's take a look at that final tour here. They got the dates. I was thinking about going to see it, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Oh, yep, there you go. That's another one. RPB trains for O as well. Yep, there's another good suggestion. I'm hoping we can distract you from that stuff, Kyle. Hopefully we can, to sit back, relax, come enjoy Railfanning with us. That's the whole point of the channel, is try to relax. And me personally, what I get my joy out of the hobby is just sitting down and watching a train going around in circles. I know that's not for everyone. Some people like point to point. Some people like a small shelf layout. But that's the great thing about this hobby, and the reason why I call it the world's greatest sandbox hobby is that you can morph it into anything that you want to have fun. Yep, there's another one, Dakman Productions. There you go. There you go. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, quick field trip. Okay, so as we were stating up here, CP2816, there's the map of all the stops and the places. So it's going to start April 24th, which is in just a few days. I don't think there's, I don't know. I'm assuming it's because of trackage rights. Yeah, they don't have, I mean, they do have some track down here, but not all the way into New York City. Kind of system and CP2816. Interesting. So yeah, it's going to be coming down. So San Antonio is like right here. There is an so we're 2 hours away from this line in particular, so we could potentially see it. And we're also about 3 hours away from Laredo, is where they're going to do their final stop. Likely PTC, so they could run on the rails. Nice. And there's a whole bunch of O-scale YouTubers for you. Yep, Chris Trains and Things, Eric's Trains, RVP Trains, Sis Trains, Dakman Productions. Yep. Yep, we share the family. We share communities. That's the big, that's huge. All right, if I can stop scrolling on the map, please. Really appreciate it. So yeah, here's all the stops for this particular steam engine. The closest is going to be when it comes into Texas and when it goes through Laredo. It's going to go through Corpus Christi. So, can you recommend a good HO switch? Are you talking about a switcher diesel or a actual turnout? Because like I said, turnout just depends on your preference. Either, for me personally, it's either going to be Walthers or Pico, but depending on whatever you choose, what I always recommend to track is try to keep your layout track consistent, because trying to mix, match, and Frankenstein different companies can be a little bit of a headache, especially when it comes to the rail joiners. The free mode guys came out with a little chart of mix matching and depending on what joiners you want to use to get the best kind of connection. One thing I need to mention, Pico 83, if you use that, don't use the Pico joiners. Use the N-scale joiners from Atlas. Those make the better connections for Pico 83. Kind of quitting O-scale trains because it's too expensive now. These days you're doing HO scale, another try. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. It's just like anything else. Because of the state of, just because of the state of things, you get priced out of the market. Lynn McCurdy in the High Desert Modular Model Railroad Club. How are you, good sir? On sale waiting for dinner. Family dropped in. Fair enough. Well, you have fun with the family. Thank you so much for stopping by. But, yeah, we're probably not going to go see the steam engine. If you guys want to go see a steam engine, I know Railfan K is going to be going down to Laredo and get some content. So, my family and I decided that instead of seeing the CPKC, we're going to go up into Omaha to go see 4023 and Centennial 6900. Because the opportunity kind of came up to do it. So, yeah, that was a nice little field trip. Nice little tangent. All right, let's go to all the cameras. So if you guys are just joining us, today we are running the Texas Special. This is the Missouri, Kansas, and Texas, the MKT. This is a passenger train. I just got these from BLI. It is a train wheel exclusive on the diesels. It's the Texas Special diesel locomotives. All right, is there a site for Fremo? Like, where can you see the standards? Give me 1 hot minute, and I will get that for you. Now, Fremo is typically a standard for modulars that's more popular on the West Coast, but it's starting to become a national standard as well. It is recognized by the NMRA, but yeah, let me get you those standards real quick. Right, I think this is it right here. Yep. So there's your Fremo standards. The big thing that you'll typically see at train shows is either Fremo standards. The Fremo standards, basically you have the track going in the center of the modular, whereas NMRA standards is typically you'll see the main line off to the left of center, and it'll be like 2 to 3 inches off from a side plate, and then you have like a whole bunch of scenery on the other side. But Fremo is more geared towards those who want to operate and actually want to be a little bit more prototypical. Like, they go crazy with prototypical. A lot of the Fremo clubs, they take it really seriously because it's designed more to be operational layout more than kind of running around in circles. NMRA standard is a little bit more on the running around in circle type of mentality for the kids, for actual train shows and so forth. And then you got bend track, which is basically an N scale. Bend track allows you to basically have a double main line on one piece of modular. You see a lot of bend track in Z scale now. And then probably my most favorite standard is N scale T track. N scale T track has a great community back in it. They're doing a lot of fantasy stuff, which I absolutely respect. It's a good time to be an N-scaler. And it's like, I know this is going to be a hot take, but if you're getting into the hobby, I kind of steer people towards N-scale because N-scale just has so much stuff. Sweet, thanks. Cool. You're mostly being laid out in your way, but just curious on how to wire each section if you need to take it apart quickly. I will go into the weeds in just a second. Turnouts. So if you're going to get into HO turnouts, like I said, look at Walthers and look at Pico. Those are 2 that I would recommend. Because it just depends on what you want to do. Okay, so you're talking about wiring each section. So again, that goes down to the standards. Again, quick field trip. So here's the wiring standards for Fremo. It's basically you've got a rail A, rail B, and you've got your Anderson connections that connect to each modular. Now, one thing I would highly recommend, and it's in here too, I don't know if I can find it real quick, but the way you wire it is that you basically have what's called a main bus that goes underneath your modular, and then you connect that main bus to a terminal strip of your choice, and then you make what's called a sub bus, and that sub bus then connects to your feeders to the track. Because you want to do it that way because if you have an issue with your layout, you can disconnect the sub bus from the main bus, and still power can go through your modular and still go to the rest of the layout, so that way other people's modulars are not affected by potential short issue that you have with your layout. And then you also have an accessory bus that you connect all your lights and scenery stuff to it. And then there's actually like a whole bunch of other buses. There's an MSS bus for your mass signaling control. And again, all the standards is in that link, so you guys can check it out. But again, that's just one standard. You've also got NMRA standards, which let me find that one for you. But yeah, pretty cool. And then some clubs have their own unique style. So again, it also depends on the club. The club may have their own standards. All right, let's do all the cameras. Yep, field trip. Kato makes a lot of N-scale stuff as well. Yep, Kato is my favorite company. for N scale, and probably for the whole hobby. I love the Unitrack system has revolutionized everything. Hey Bree, welcome. Hope you had a great week. Yep. Speaking of standards, you need to take out your train inspector on her standard schedule. Fair enough. If I remember correctly, that's your puppy dog. If I remember correctly, yeah. Yeah, I know it's well, yeah, it's 10 o'clock on you guys on the East Coast. Yep, take it easy, Heath. Again, if you really want to see how far you can take technology when it comes to model railroading, Heath is your person. For me, it's all about how far can I take Digitrax and kind of presenting a layout like this. Check it out later. Just curious on how others do it. Yep, yep. I appreciate that, Sean. And that's the thing too. Is like you don't need to go crazy spending $100 on a passenger train. I love my River Rossi AHM old new stock passenger trains. The only ones I won't touch are Athearn Blue Boxes. I do have some, but I won't buy. I kind of inherited some Athearn Blue Box passenger trains, but I won't buy them outright. No clubs around me, so everything will basically be your own standards. Yep, there you go. There you go. Carl stuff is based in Japan. Yep, yep. And they do. I mean, they do a lot of American stuff too. But if you really want to get in, and that's the thing, if you want to get into Japanese model railroading, you have no choice but to go to N scale. Because I wish Kata would make HO scale Japanese bullet trains, because they would make freaking bank. They would make so much money, but I'm pretty sure there's some sort of exclusivity deals behind the scenes that we don't see, and licensing deals that we don't see behind the scenes. So it's just unfortunate. Because I want to see more bullet trains in HO that's not Bachmann. No offense to Bachmann, but we need another company that does bullet trains. I have a few Walther's mainline. It's just they are... Walther passenger cars and I don't get along. I'll leave it at that. They don't get along. The two Walther's cars that I have, they're body-mounted couplers on a few of them. No, I think it's all of them. I think the ones I have are body-mounted. And they will not go around Harbor Point to save my life. And then there are 3 truck axles on their passenger cars that they do have. I've got American flag UP Walther's mainline. And I think I'm running into the same problems that I have with some of my scale trains 6 axles, is that one axle in the middle is just high enough that if it doesn't get around a switch just right, it'll derail. And so my my UP American flag car from Walther's derails all the freaking time. So I have a love-hate relationship with Walther's sometimes with their passenger cars. Once you can tell, Japanese HO here in the US. Yeah, yeah. Curious where you like the old blue box passenger cars. You have a few going to clean up and run one day. It's the trucks. I've had issues with the trucks before. They tend to derail as well. And to me, the size of them are a little bit... Again, I'm very biased on what looks natural when it comes to a train. The River Rossi lengths look more correct to my eye than the small width of the Athearn coaches. So it looks a little corny to me, I guess, for the lack of a better phrase. But definitely, if you want to get a starter passenger set that's Athearn, go for it. It's just not for me. I prefer the lengths of the River Rossi ones. So it just comes down to preference. You heard that Texas was trying to get a bullet train system, but I don't think it would happen. They're trying to get a tri-city bullet train that goes from San Antonio to Houston to Dallas. And that's always been a crapshoot. It's just as bad as the one trying to get done in California. But Brightline may actually be more successful in getting their bullet train up from LA to Vegas. So we'll see. But yeah, I do actually have a daylight train or Atherin Blue Box SP train that I do have. Like I said, that one I kind of inherited. So I think that one I got it as a deal with the other River Rossi coaches because they were trying to get rid of them. Oh, hi. Hi, cat. You're smothering me. Ow, ow. Hi. Okay. Ow. That's claws. That's a lot of claws. Okay. Our superintendent of the railway just showed up. Let's see. But I'm also excited to get some Rapido cars. Because I've got the Missouri Pacific ones on pre-order, so it came by for inspection. Yeah, she's looking around the layout, as you guys can see. All right, look at the Solo 180 here. Hi. All right. But yeah, I know a lot of people don't like the River Rossi AHC because their couplers are on the trucks themselves. And a lot of people don't like that. They prefer the body mounted, which is why they usually gravitate towards Walthers. Which again, it's all based on preference. I prefer the truck mounted couplers with the long shanks because they gave me more control over tighter radiuses. But again, it's not realistic because you can see the giant Grand Canyon gaps that are between the cars. That doesn't bother me. So again, it's what looks better to your naked eye. You're going to get the most enjoyment out of it. I get enjoyment out of a train actually functioning. I prefer functionality over, prototypical. So that's what I naturally gravitate towards. She is just watching trains going around circles, wanting to hunt it and kill it. Hi. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff. All right, let's do this. Pretty soon we'll get onto the layout and we'll chase this train around. Let's see, this is going. Let's go to this view. So when it comes to, and we're talking about standards. So this layout is technically Fremo standards when it comes to track and when it comes to the electronics underneath, for the most part. I've got a few tweaks that I do on my personal modules, like this one you get to see in front. But overall, it will connect to other Fremo modulars. Now, the bench work is a little bit smaller. They're 12 inches wide, whereas the Fremo standards call for 26 inches wide. So these modulars are what they call Minimo modulars, and they're typically used for like duck unders and so forth. But I like the 12 inches wide because it gives a lot of good space. My typical straight standard is 1 foot by 3 feet. I find to be like the best for me. Alright. Let's go to Phoenix Point. And that camera looks tilted. I may have to fix that one. Can't wait for the train show tomorrow. Railfanning K and I will be going to New Braunfels train show tomorrow. So we will... I'll get a lot of recording. I'll get that video up later in the week. River Rossi makes good N-gauge and HO passionate cars with interior. Yep, I agree. I agree. Okay. Why are you putting all your fur onto my round layout shirt? Thanks, Cat. Okay, let's see here. Get to this view. And then there's some other cars that I will randomly get. So I actually do have some Atherin ready to roll, which I think are a little bit bigger than the blue boxes. And those ones I'm starting to fall in love with just because they give me the size of an excursion train. That was actually something just fairly recently. Like last week I bought these cars. Well, you have to go. You got to take care of something before tomorrow. All right, yep, take it easy. So you can see to the right here, I've actually got some Atherin ready to roll. And these are the Greyhound Scheme Passionate coaches. I'm liking these coaches because it just gives me excursion feels. It looks right to me for the length size of it. I may actually, I don't know, I may run that train. That train's been more of a guilty pleasure train when I'm off stream and I just want to run something just different. I run that one. When I was working on the layout and the signaling system, I ran that train. You usually add weight to your Atherin cars, they run better. Yeah, yep. So I've heard. Absolutely. Yep, Railfanning K. Night. Yeah, before I started the stream, I'm charging up all my cameras and GoPros and all that. Almost forgot to charge them. Like, that would have been bad. But yeah, most if you're going to get into a modular club as well, or have the plans of potentially connecting to a modular layout in the future, then more than likely, I think it's safe to say that I'm probably 95% certain that most clubs, modular-wise, use Digitrax. So that's something that you definitely want to start getting into and researching and figure out how things work, and I can help you with that. I've got a whole how far can we take Digitrax series. So that's my specialty, because I am definitely biased towards Digitrax. Have you done a comparison video between passenger car manufacturers? It is something I'm going to do in the future. I want to do the comparison videos justice. The problem is if you want to compare so many different cars together, you need the money and you need the time to really put into the production of it. That's the problem. I can't do high quality, I don't want to say quality, but videos on that requires so much production value to it, like editing and doing compare contrast and so forth, just because I just don't have the time right now. It is a shelf idea that I want to do for the future. But there are channels out there that compare different companies and so forth. So I'll point you in that direction. So, yeah. Like I say, it's not necessarily a new idea. It will be a new idea for the channel. And it's something that I would like to get into. But again, it just... I don't have a sponsor or, these companies to lend me their engines, or hobby store to lend me engines to make the comparisons. I just don't have that access. So, there's other channels that do have that, so I kind of point you guys in that direction. Obviously, the most biggest one that has a lot of videos is JWL is one. I know Sparky did some comparison videos back in the day. He did one on all the big boys. So, yeah. I can tell you just from what I know and what I have. You just try to. Also, the other thing I would love to do is have the panels on each side of each section for switches, like switchboards. Yeah. Yeah, switchboards are interesting because I don't know if I want. It takes some time to get it together. Now, one thing that I really want to do, I think that's absolutely genius, is if you've seen Heath's stream, he's got those iPad or tablet switchboards that connect to JMRI web server, and I absolutely want to do that in the future with my permanent layout. So that's something that I'm going to do because I think that's absolutely genius. Because then you can have that feedback instantaneously to the dispatcher. It's absolutely the way I'm going to go in the future. But what I use for I'll use JMRI for my boards. But if a person wants to switch on my layout, I'm either going to do hand throws or digital hand throws. You just realized that your new top panel is not showing anymore. Only certain panels right now will have that. So the field trip will have it. But the thing is, when it comes to like all the cameras, the real estate space is kind of limited because of just size that I don't include it here. So I had to take certain scenes, and OBS have them, others don't. Like just me will have them because I have the real estate space. But when it comes to all the cameras, it's very limited. Because then I have to do shortening and it becomes a giant mess trying to deal with it in this scene. So yeah, I won't have that on this scene. From time to time, once we get to a point where all the features up there will be available to me, from time to time I will switch to either here, I'll switch to here to make sure that everything gets notified, and then it's like, okay, Rayron, but what if a new person subscribes and we don't see this? Well, that's where a new feature comes into play, which I've actually had before. I do have an alerter. So that's what the alerter looks like when someone just subscribes. So I do have the alert system on all the scenes. So I'm trying to get back to my roots of Twitch and everything, having all the alert systems, having, all the things. Because I want to give you guys credit and recognition and all that. So, but that's why. Do you have a Railway Express car for your passenger train? So you're talking about the cars that have, like, the P.O. box and so forth? I know most of my passenger trains has a Railway Express car on them. This MKT set, though, doesn't have a dedicated baggage coach. This one just has a Railway Express, I think. Yeah, so I still got to get a baggage coach for this one. And then this train will be complete in my eyes. Usually when I call a train set complete as far as passengers is that we have at least one dome car, we have the end observation, we have the baggage car, we got the Railway Express / mail car, and a few coaches. So yeah, and I think the alerter is on this one too. Yeah, so there's the alerter there. So, getting back to our roots. And I had to get these going because as we open up new things, in about 150 watch hours remaining. Last I checked, YouTube is again erasing watch hours. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because it bought something. I don't know. But anyways, once we open up things, it gives me a lot more access to other things, and yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun in the future. So I wanna start getting ready. So I don't think it works that way. I think once, at least back in the day when I was using Streamlabs, it doesn't. It recognizes one and only one. And then again, with YouTube, it's a little finicky because I think you gotta do something in your own profile settings that says like make your subscriptions public to the creator or some weird thing like that. I can't remember where it is. I think you gotta have that turned on. I think it's turned off by default because if you don't have that turned on, then it won't alert Streamlabs. So it's still kind of finicky and janky, but at least it's something. I'm trying my best with it. So if it doesn't work and you have that setting turned on, I apologize. But it's still kind of, I'm still kind of road testing the features because it's been a while since I've used it. It works fine on Twitch because it was designed for Twitch originally. All right, I think it's time we do some chasing. All right, let's go to this view. Let's go to this view. All right, so welcome aboard. We've got our chase camera. And I did move one of the cameras back because last time that we did this, so what I can do here actually, hang on, I got, you know, we were talking about that bars. I can put the bars on this one because I can actually have the space for it. I need this. I need to press OK. There we go. So we can put it on this view. All right, let's go ahead and chase it. So this is quickly inspiring me to make sure I have a double main line in the future. So that way we can chase it all the way around the layout. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Being able to chase it on the siding here. So the engine that you see on the camera train is an SD40 Mopac. I think it's SD40-2 technically. It is an early BLI DCC ready engine that I just put a simple small Digitrax decoder in it. It does have a speaker, so it does have sound. And this is where we're going to go ahead and stop that camera train. So otherwise we would go on to the main line from there. Oh, I appreciate that, BCA Parts. Yep, take it easy. Again, you can always see us on the replay. Your health is much more important. Absolutely more important. Yeah, and I'm not going to stay on too long because I still got to prep for a train show tomorrow. Make sure I got all my camera equipment ready to go and get some good night's sleep. So I think we've got about another half an hour and probably end up calling it a stream. But for now, let's just sit back, relax, and let's run some more trains. All right, go ahead and put our camera train back in the spot so we can chase it again. All right, as that's resetting, let's go to all the cameras. I'll put the phone camera up. And let's do this. So you can see the view there. Let's see. No Xbox cars on a passenger train. Oh, okay. Or REX, you know, Railway Express. Gotcha. So I think this would be a cool view if we can pull this off. Let's do, all the cameras are still on. Let's bring up this view. Yeah, there we go. So now we can see, let's change this camera to this one. So now you can get like the aft and forward kind of viewpoints as we go over Ghetto's Bridge. That's so cool. There's just something about it. Something about it. Hey, there we go. Let's see, it's Cameron. Thank you so much for subscribing. It works. Look at that. Thank you so much for that subscription. I may have to adjust the text, though, because I think the text is bleeding in and it's getting a little bit difficult to read, but I'll adjust that on after the stream. But hey, it works. And then we can also take a look at, let's see, let's take a look at this screen. This one. Yep, so Cameron is up there on the newest dragon in the Icey family. That's going to be great. Yeah, and it's nothing new. Like, this has been a thing on Twitch for, like, ever. It's just YouTube streaming and Twitch streaming are really different cultures, which is pretty interesting. But I wanted to bring it back to my channel because I had a lot of fun with it. And I was kind of missing it, so it's like, it's time. It's time to bring that back a little bit. Okay, let's do some more Railfan in here. Let's go over to the town here. Haven't showed this one yet. And face. As the MKT goes behind the MKT Heritage Unit there on the wall. Kind of fitting. But yeah, I have some MKT PAs that are coming in from Rapido. I think I've got those on order. And that'll probably be the last in this collection. Well, no, I got the MKT... what is it? The MKT and the Slug from Rapido that I've got coming in. I kind of wanted to expand a little bit on the MKT front. But those are going to be probably my last ones for a while. Because again, I really kind of want to expand on Mopac a bit. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go to this view. Coming around the turn. And what's pretty cool is that the Texas Special does have some prototypical value for me because at least the Amtrak version of it actually stops here in San Antonio. And it combines with the Sunset Limited. Let's see, you're going to go this one. Get you that view. So cool. All right, let's get on board the train here. So you usually use a sheet as a backdrop so you can focus more on the train in the background. It's blue and it works. Really nice. It's blue. And it works really nice. So I do have plans for a backdrop, but it's not in the backdrop that you would think anyways. It's kind of hard to describe it until I actually do it for this layout. Alright, sorry for the latency issues there. Go ahead and start up the camera train here. And then we'll put this train onto the main track, and it looks like you are crashing on me. Come on. Come on, phone. You can do it. It's definitely acting up today. I don't know why. I need to figure out why that is. Wonder if I just need a better phone for this. Probably. Or what I really need is a tablet. No tablet for this. That's what I really need. Future plans. So you can see on the left side camera, there's a modular that's sitting on its side. That is a typical Freemo modular. That's still kind of on the small end. All right, Kyle, take it easy. Yep, I know it's definitely late for you guys on the East Coast. Take it easy. You can always catch us on the replay. Perfectly understandable. Thank you so much for hanging. All right, we're going to get this guy onto the main line. So that switch number is 200. So we're going to throw it. We're going to get our guy onto the main line. Beautiful. All right, and then we're going to close that so I don't derail the other trains. And then we're going to stop it. I'll bring it up a little bit. Hey, NW611. Welcome. It is going. We're running the Texas Special right now. We're kind of parked because we're going to go chase it. Let's go ahead and bring up this view. Maybe I can bring in, tell you what, we can bring in the top bar here, because then I'll just cover up kind of the security stuff. Yeah, we can just do it this way. That I don't mind. I will be there. Myself, Railfanning K will be there. We will be at the New Braunfels train show. Absolutely. I'll record my POV experience. I do have the last two New Braunfels train show and the Summer train show in a video on the channel as well. So charging my cameras up, and we'll get that out later this week. Train? Why are you not responding? That was weird. Alright, the tracks. What are you doing? Thank you. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Sorry about that little jump. Diesel's acting a little funny. Absolutely. You can do whatever you want. Absolutely. Hopefully be at 10:30, 11. I'm going to try to be in line right when they open. But weather could be interesting, though. It's scheduled to rain really bad right at 8 o'clock tomorrow, from what I've seen on the weather. So, yep, just plan accordingly. I don't think the weather's going to be great, but we'll see. Let me also... I'm going to turn the light off just so you can see the diesel. Papa John, how are you, good sir? Hopefully you're doing well. We got ourselves a train show tomorrow at New Braunfels, which I'm excited for. And then there's going to be like kind of a dry spell. So I think the next one is Temple. Awesome. Have I given you a sticker? A holographic dragon sticker? If not, remind me, I'll get you one. Either at the train show or just at the club. I can't remember if I gave you one. Caught your third heritage unit today. Nice. That's always fun. Catching those non-unique engines. Well, one-of-a-kind engines as well. I'm going to try a speed match to our MKT here. If you guys are just joining us, welcome. We are running our brand new BLI MKT F3 units. This is the Texas Special. I believe it's a Train World exclusive. These are just C units that I just bought 2 of, so that way I can have it run the passenger train. Somewhat realistically, but somewhat not. So now we can get that kind of view here. Copy, same. Yep. Interesting. It's like a power. I have to check that corner. Let's get some space first before I connect these two by accident, because that'll lead to some issues. We may have gotten it here. Illinois Terminal just went through Columbia, Ohio 2 days ago. Nice. One of these days we'll get a heritage unit on the channel. You got 4 Texas Special HO Lionel. Nice. Does not surprise me. That's awesome. The dragon collector himself, Papa John, the collector of the family. Sweet. Yeah, normally I stay there for about 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. So yeah, we'll be there right when they open. Probably stay till noon, and I'll just be walking around. I'm getting excited for that Scale Train 611 though. The more I think about it, I'm getting more and more excited. Not gonna lie. That's gonna be I'm glad I'm getting one, because that's gonna be a nice excursion train too. And considering that my final layout design is gonna have an excursion line on it, yeah, I'm getting more and more excited for that 611. Speed matching is becoming a little bit of a problem here, but we'll get it. Sweet. All right, let me just skim through things real quick, make sure I'm not missing any news, because news likes to come out on a Friday, too. So I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I did, yeah. Yep, looks good. So far, so good. So far, so good. Yeah, I saw their official one. Saw the one that came out, I believe, on JWL's channel. It just looks amazing. I don't see any news that popped up. So I think we're good. Let me check my email. Let's see. You told me you ordered one. I didn't realize it was a 613 that you ordered. Yeah, I ended up getting the 611. And like I said, the main reason why I actually wanted the Queen of Steam was I wanted to pull the Freedom Train, my Freedom Train. Because I'm going to do a what if the Freedom Train were to happen today, what engines will pull it? Obviously, I got to get a 4014. Because I would think 4014 would pull it, 844, 4449, 611. What others are out there? Maybe a CP, the CP engine too. Great, now I gotta get that engine now that I think about it. Yeah, the 2816. If I can find that in HO. Let's see. Have you heard a horn or whistle like we do in O gauge and HO? Not sure. Not sure. The only terminal was number 2, Heritage. Your second Heritage that you got. Got it. Got it. I know Spree will be there tomorrow. Do you know where they will be? They are typically in the front section. The auditorium section is where they're typically at. Nearly either actually they're near the stage typically. So that's actually a good thing. What things do I need to look for? So I think tomorrow I need to get another train box. That's the big one that I kind of need. And then I think I'm going to focus a lot on Digitrack stuff. I definitely need to buy another Bunami. I need to get the board version EMD Bunami. That's a must for me tomorrow because I've got a UP ACE unit that I want to convert from a Tsunami 1 to a Bunami. Because I need that for my excursion. So that's like top priority for me. And then what other rare things I can get? But yeah, that's kind of my shopping list for tomorrow. And then I find completely random things that I don't need to buy. Alright, let's get back on the 2 cameras here. That way you can see the SD4-2. Repeater freight cars and maybe a new piece of general track for your layout. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, if I see ya, you'll say hello. If you want to be in the video, just say so. You can say hello to everyone. Okay, so we got a train show. Seems like you have a train show every month in Ohio. April 27, Columbus, Ohio. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, I was thinking about going to the Oklahoma train show, but that already happened. I didn't realize it was in April, too. So it's like, well, I'm not going to that one. Layout's been acting weird. You'll be running a train and just lose power, and then it comes back. What command station do you use? You know, with this view, I can have a few more cameras, too. I should probably do that. Oh, yeah, Chuck will be there, too. You guys saw him on my Samra train show. We'll see if we can run into you tomorrow. I just realized I can put some more cameras on this scene. I can put the 180. Let's put the 180 on this one. And I can do all the cameras. Let's do... Oh, okay. Use MRC. Okay, got it. Got it. I don't know. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I don't know too much about MRC. If it was Digitrax, I could probably help you, but Elite Sir, not sure what that means. Oh, that's the Prodigy Elite Sir. Okay, got it. Got it. Yeah, I'm not familiar with MRC. I'm familiar with Digitrax and a little bit of EZDCC. NCE just enough. I'm still a novice at NCE, but I'm a Digitrax person. Let's see. Let me add scene, all the cameras, and then what we can do is this. Yeah. I know it's kind of small. Well, actually, you know what? I don't know if I want that camera. I'll probably hide it. No, I'll add both. Let's add another scene to this. Oh, no. I want video capture device, stupid. And we want the hodgepodge capture. There we go. And we'll just put you right there. There we go. So now we got a whole row of cameras here as well. And I can still... Oh, that's one thing I gotta do. Where's my... Oh, yeah, I gotta put all of these above that. That and... There we go. Okay, that looks better. Oh, I just realized by doing that. Hey, we got another subscriber. Hello, Jeff. Welcome to the Icey family. Welcome, welcome. And see, it updates. It works. You have a Digitrax DCS50 given to you, but you need the quartz. Gotcha. The DC50 is not bad. It's the younger cousin of the DCS52. But the 50 is not bad. I actually have one kind of stored away. I'm still trying to... I have an idea what I need to do with it. I just don't have the space to really use it right now. Tell you what, I need to do something really quick. Let me remove this. That's the 180 camera. What about a hodgepodge capture? Okay. What I need to do is it's a video capture device is what I need, not the scene, because then you'll see a scene within a scene when I highlight stuff. And I don't want that. I want a hodgepodge capture. Nope, not that one. We want to add video capture device. I need the Elgato. That's what I need. That's better. And we'll put that right there. So your brother, let's see, your brother's probably limited. Big boy has a whistle, but you gotta buy a separate controller for the HO. Interesting. I know BLIs don't require. Oh, let me fix something here. Okay, that should be fixed. I know for like if you're talking about Oh, that's about to catch up. Hang on. Okay. Um, for BLIs, I know Atherin Genesis has like that special remote from time to time, but I know you can control everything from a controller of the DCC system that you're using. You don't need like a separate controller just for the BLI big boy per se. Unless you mean that you need like a second controller for your DCC system, which makes more sense. I'm trying to set my layout up that if I do invite people over, that they can use any controller they want to a degree. I'm trying to get a U93, UR93 that has the radio mode, so people can bring their old controllers over. I obviously have the LNWI, which is the most preferred, because then you can just control a train from your cell phone, which makes it stupidly easy. I'm planning to eventually get some more UP5s, now UP7s installed on the modulars. But we're getting there. It's going to take a little time. Oh, Timothy, welcome, welcome. Hopefully you're having a good start to the weekend. It is train show eve for me and others in the San Antonio area. We've got New Braunfels train show tomorrow, which is usually the New Braunfels train show in April is usually the best train show of the year, at least for this local area. They got most of the main stores are going to be there. They got the Lego layouts that are typically there. It's usually the one to go to. Obviously, last year was the NMRA convention because it was in Dallas and nearby. One of these days, we'll get up to the Plano, Texas train show. It's just a little bit far to get to for us. But many projects on the radar. Alright, I gotta speed you up. There we go. That was pretty cool. You got to hear the notching down when I slowed down the F7. That was pretty cool. Alright, we're going to gain some distance. I am going to park the camera train off to the side. If that's the right one. Okay, get some speed here. Just get some distance. I have time to throw the switch. Yep, I definitely threw the right one. No, I didn't. Okay. Yep. That's fine, because I can actually get it to the siding. This will actually work better. That was a dinosaur. We got T-Rex and a Stegosaurus. So kind of the backstory behind that is this layout can be transformed into an operational layout. I've got cards, I've got industries on this layout. And kind of the gag behind it is that we can turn normal day items into fantasy items. So we use this mystic powder shipped from the Mystic Railroad. I gotta do some switching here real quick. Throw. Try not to derail us as we go into the sighting. And then we take that mystic powder and turn it into, we've got dragon eggs we can make. We can make dinosaurs. We can make dragon eggs. So it's just a little spin off of operations that we do on this layout. I just haven't had time to really get it set up for another session. But I want to make it a tradition that on Christmas morning we'll do an op session. We'll do some fun run and then an op session. So that'll definitely be happening as well. Hello, Randall. How are you, good sir? Hopefully you're doing well. All right, we'll get this camera train parked. All right. All right, let's go back to all the cameras. Let's go to here. Let's speed up the other train a little bit. Let's get the light back on. Let's get the 180. And we will follow it for a little bit more. Our brand new BLIF 3As. I guess one thing I forgot to mention in the news, now that I think about it, the shark noses did ship, and we got 4 sharks coming in. So probably next week we'll have our shark nose diesels coming in from BLI. We'll have the Mopac, we'll have the Southern Pacific Black Widow, and the 2 kind of Air Force paint scheme or fantasy schemes. So those 4 are coming in, which I'm excited for. Well, yeah, and also on the VIP portal, the VIP portal finally opened up, so you can submit suggestions. So I'll try to remember to get your Frisco in. Because they want, like, pictures and was this prototypical, yada, yada, yada. So there's actually quite a bit to do on the submission front. So I'm going to try to take it seriously so that way they actually have all the information that they need. I just find it funny that we're paying them to do the research. But it's a compromise. All things considered, it is a compromise a bit. Well, if you want something to be produced, go put the work into it. It's like, okay. Touche, BLI, touche. So yeah, I've got a lot of trains to submit. But yeah, hopefully next week will be Shark Week. That's what I'm thinking is gonna happen next week. Probably the live stream name will be Shark Week as well. I'm assuming if I can get them in next week. If they come in next week, guarantee you it'll be Shark Week. The invasion of the sharks. Be kind of cool. Be a kind of cool special to do. You heard it here first. It's analog, not DCC, but still power rate limit. You can always attempt to convert it. But steam engines are, well, older models can be a little bit tricky. Like what everyone else has said, if you're going to convert an old analog into DCC, measure the stall speed. And how do you measure stall speed? Well, make sure you have a meter that can read it. Put the power on, turn the motor over, and then literally grab the motor, stall it, and see what that amperage is. There's a lot of videos out there on how to do it. So. Man, it's also been stupidly humid lately, so my poor legs are so freaking itchy. Can't stand it. It is so humid in San Antonio right now. All right, let's do the entire layout. We haven't done this view yet. The Icey Railway. My most advanced running around in a circle layout yet. We still got more to do on it. We gotta get block detection going. We gotta get our JMRI dispatch panel up and going again. Gotta get some more cameras that allow me like 360 control. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited what we can do. Obviously, I gotta do some scenic work, which is like the last thing on my list. I gotta be in a very particular mood to do scenery. But yeah, overall, these engines I'm impressed with. Minus all the oil that they put on these diesels, which shocked me when I did the unboxing and first run video on these things, and it's like the trucks were just covered in oil. And the ironic thing about it is that I was running the lead F3 unit for like 2 or 3 hours yesterday, just kind of breaking them in, seeing how they run. And matter of fact, you can probably start hearing it here soon. They started to squeak. And it's like, really, for all the oil that you put on it, and it squeaks in like 3 to 4 hours. Like, come on. Yeah, they're starting to squeak. Speaking of the devil, they're starting to squeak on me now. It's like, okay, whatever. And I oiled it myself the correct way before the stream. So, yeah, it's a little finicky for these engines. Which is strange because my Western Pacific Paragon 4 BLI F units, they were perfect. But these ones are a little finicky. So I don't know. And both F3 units were was that way when it came to the oil. All the trucks were just gushed in oil. Bizarre. Absolutely crazy. All right, coming up on Phoenix Point. So these are a mixture of AHC and River Rossi. Those are the type of passionate cars that I go after. I bought these cars from, actually, funny enough, another YouTuber that was selling at the National Train Show last year. So these are actually almost 1 year since I've had these. So I was looking for some Texas Special cars. Oh, no. That was the Southern Crescent that I bought. Where did I get these ones from? Crap. Wasn't Temple. Was it New Providence? Or did I have these prior to that? Oh, goodness. Now I don't know. I could have sworn I got these at National. That's going to bug me now. Hang on. I appreciate that. You got to run your own trains, too. Don't, you know, you got to have fun, too. But I do appreciate the kind words. You added the red light to the end cart. Yeah, that's something I'll eventually do. It's just not on my list of things pressing. But I understand the appeal for it. That's going to bug me. Where did I get these from? Now I got to look at my past haul videos. Unless, did I get these online? No, I don't think so. Let's see. Well, if you guys don't know, I have a playlist of all of my train shows and hauls and such. But let me see here. Playlists, train shows. No, this is bothering me. The random things. Train shows. Pause. Okay. I don't think it was Temple. No, it wasn't Temple. It wasn't Nationals. Okay, so Nationals, I got it. I got the Southern Pacific cars. So that was last year. New Braunfels? No. Now we're digging deep. Now we're digging in 23, 1 year ago. That was the haul video. Yeah, maybe. Maybe it was online. Yeah, so I guess I bought these online. From Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, maybe I got on Facebook Marketplace is where I got it. Yeah, it was. Yep. It just hit me. It was Facebook Marketplace. It was an individual that I tend to buy from in New York that was selling a lot of stuff for the club. And he had these. Yep, that's where it's from. Yep. That's what it was. Really good price too. Yeah, the good price for these kind of cars is usually between $10 to $20. Like I won't pay more than $20 for a Rossi car. And then it's gotta be like in really good condition, like really like new old stock. I'm a real big fan of these type of coaches. $3D print some interior for it. Now that 3D printing is really a viable option nowadays. I just gotta get a bigger printer. 3D print some interior. Put some figurines inside, light it up. But definitely a project for another day. So it said it was DCC Ray. Just got to buy the chip. Yeah. For you to pay 20, it's got to be lighted. Fair enough. And again, that's why, cost is so subjective. For me, the reason why I say 20 as well is because sometimes they are hard to find. So I would put a little bit of the scarcity value into it. Again, I don't overinflate it like you see in freaking eBay sometimes. But again, this is all subjective. I put that subjective scarcity cost into it. And maybe 25, it's like, I'll go 25 too if it's like a very special River Rossi car. Let's say if I find like another car that's like the American Orient Express, then I'll pay a little bit more for it because I know it is kind of rare to find that from River Rossi. But that's as high as I'll go on those. Any more than that, it's like I know I'm getting. It's not worth the value. Again, value again is subjective. So. It's just crazy that we live in a day and age that coaches nowadays cost almost $100. I thought that was insane for the California Zephyr back in the day, and now it's the norm. I mean, I'm not complaining per se. I know it's got a lot of details and lights up and good right out of the box. It's just, it's interesting. Very interesting. Let's see. That's not what I want. I want all the cameras again. I want that. Let's bring up all the cameras I haven't done in a hot minute. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the train show tomorrow. It's going to be fun. Gonna be fun. I'm just very thankful that I have at least 3 train shows a year I can go to, maybe 4. No, don't be sorry. You were just lurking. It's all good. Don't need to apologize. But welcome back. Welcome back. And that's the thing, Papa John. You know where to find the deals. Like, $5 Rapido. Oh, no. No. Not gonna ask. That's a freaking steal. That's nuts. Well, I gotta put it this way too. I found my big steal was there's an Amtrak diner car. It was a full-blown Walther's card. Typically goes for like, I don't know, between $50 to $70. I got it for $10. It was a great steal. So typically on my Amtrak sets, you'll see that car because it's a Phase 4 and everything else is a Phase 3. Yeah, yep, you lurk. I appreciate all the lurkers. Those who just sit back, relax, and just have fun. They are the backbone for live streams. Yeah, that I was surprised, and it's like the guy said that. Oh yeah, I've got more. And it's like I'm out of money. I was at my budget when I bought that. It's like, I would have bought more, but I'm more of a fan of the Phase 3 Amtrak than I am Phase 4. But I still mix and match. I've got a P42. I've got the new Siemens Charger. And then I do Phase 3 coaches minus the dining car. The dining car is Phase 4 because I just got it at a great price. So, did you see my answer to the question about these? Yeah, I saw you had MRC, right? You said? Yeah, you had MRC. So I have a potential another video coming up. I'm waiting to get some more parts in. So you guys know that tender, the Athearn Genesis tender that I just installed that shiny new Bunami decoder in. Yeah, the pin box on that tender, the one of the side walls cracked on me, and also bent one of the pins. So I have a nice little, I don't want to say rant video, but more of a, I cannot stand Athearn Genesis steam engines sometimes, because that pen connection system that they have, I can't stand it. Especially on my 4019 big boy of all things. So I have a video coming out on that. It's more of a, I don't want to say buyer beware. It's just if you're going to get an Athearn Genesis that you got to disconnect and connect the tender from time to time, just be wary of it. Like, it's getting to the point with my Athearn Genesis that I need to invest in a whole different box system, so that way I don't have to disconnect the tender every freaking time. So yeah, that tender is going to be out of commission for a little bit, but I am going to do a video just more in general of why I like BLI tender system and why I'm liking XMTH's style of connection that Scale Trains is going to keep. So I have that video soon to come out. I'm just trying to figure out a fix, if that's even possible. Because that plastic is part of the tender itself, and for that to crack on me and then bend one of the pins, yeah, I'm not too happy about that. Because that was going to be my tender for Missouri Pacific lines. I can convert my Northern Challenger and Big Boy for it. But that frame cracked, so not too happy about that. Oh yeah, yeah. If you're at the club, I told you guys there at the club. I was pissed, but it's just that's Athearn Genesis. They're great freaking models. It's just you gotta be vigilant on that connection system. And I was at a time, but there's just so many downsides to it. If you have to keep connecting and disconnecting that tender from the boiler. That's why I love when BLI and the Paragon 4 made the steam engine so much better than Athearn Genesis, because they keep it all in the packaging. You don't have to disconnect the tender with the wires and everything. You just put it in the box and take it out of the box. That's it. So I need to buy one. Kind of little bit of a spoiler, but there is a steam engine that I'm probably going to get just to take a look at their connection system. Because I saw that and it's like, that looks so cool as well. And it's more for excursion runs too. So more on, and matter of fact, there's an undecorated steam engine that Rapido made. So that's actually the one that I'm going to go after, because then I can label it Missouri Pacific Lines. But yes, it is. I've seen it, and it looks interesting. I just haven't bought one to really judge it. Let me go to Rapido. Oh, now I want to take a field trip real quick. HO, steam locomotives. They're Hudsons. Is it the Hudson? No. It's, the D10s. That's the one I want. Though I love the look of the D10s. Yeah. And they got keep alives on them too. It's just, it's so expensive. Yeah, they've got an unlettered highlights. So this is, just want to try one of the J1As, yeah. So let's take a quick field trip. So this is the one I want their unlettered D10. Because then I can put Missouri Pacific lines. And I think this may be not a far stretch. I think I saw one of these in MPL. Yeah, I think MPL actually had one. But I have to double check. Or something very similar to this. MP had a lot of stuff that I didn't realize they had. Because I've been trying to grab as many Missouri Pacific Line Heritage magazines as I can. And it just continues to amaze me how much steam engines MPL had. So yeah, this one's definitely on my radar. Let's see if they can show, if I can find the video from Rapido that had the connection system. Let's see. Let me see. How is it boxed? Okay, so the tender is different. 2-port system. Does anyone make a decent cab forward? I've heard hit and miss from the main companies for cab forwards are BLI, Intermountain, and Rivarossi. The older Rivarossi ones. I've had no issues with the older Rivarossis. I actually broke mine because of the front truck spring broke on me, so that was my and I did that. BLI, I would wait. If you really want to get into a cab forward, BLI is going to be coming out with some more in the future. So yeah, BLI made the cab forward as well. Between the cab forward and the Intermountain cab forwards, I will go the Intermountain simply because the Paragon, the cab forwards currently in the market from BLI are Paragon 3s and they're trash. Some people have good success with Paragon 3s, but Paragon 3 just doesn't have the keep alives that you need. Luckily, it's big enough that the pickups aren't really good, but BLI announced that they're going to be making some more cab forwards. Granted, it's a different version cab forward. I think it's the AC 11 and 12s that they're making in the future. And those are ones that I'm going to be picking up. Because they got the square tenders. They got the more flatline front a little bit. So, but if you want one now, I would probably say Intermountain. Some people would say BLI, but then they got the Paragon 3. So, there's not really a good one per se. There's trade-offs. I do have some cab forwards on this channel. BNSF engineer, he pops in from time to time. He would be the one to ask because he's got both brands. And I think he would say BLI, but don't quote me on it. Let me check something real quick and then we'll go make another field trip. I just want to see how this is connected. Oh, yeah, they got that push pin kind of thing going. Yeah, that looks really interesting. You got the keep alives, which I respect. Yeah, I definitely want one of these. It's just a nice little excursion switcher. Oh, yeah, So, yeah, sorry, I totally forgot about MTH. But I think, well, I can't really, I do have an MTH cab forward, but you're going to pay a lot for it. And my MTH turn radius is absolutely horrendous. Like, I think it needs a minimum of 30s. But yeah, cab forwards, MTH make cab forwards. I totally forgot about it. But again, it is Paragon, not Paragon. They are proto sound, so you got to program on the main with them. But yeah, thank you for that, MW. I totally forgot. Because like, duh, I have a cab forward at MTH. Now scale trains. So scale trains has cab forwards tooling. But I have no clue when they're gonna come out with it. They've said that their production order from scale trains, from the XMTH tooling, is gonna be they're gonna do 611, and then they're gonna do GS4 next, which I think is kind of suicidal, but yeah, it is what it is. But I still plan on probably for their GS4s. I'll probably get the 4449 is what I'm thinking about doing. But we'll see. I am really hesitant on XMTH, just stuff in general now. That's why I can't wait for the 611 to come out, because that's really going to set the standard into how they were able to improve on the XMTH tooling. So we'll see. We shall see. I'm going to BLI. Let's see. HO scale, Steam. Let's see if we can find the cab forwards. Because we are talking about the cab forward. Big boy, full truck shays. Where are you? We'll find it. Let's see. Can't seem to find it. I haven't had a chance to. I've been so freaking busy. Like, I tend to just watch live streams when I get a chance at work. And then it's just do house chores, make sure the family is settled, and then I just get to editing / producing videos. That's usually my days. And then study and do schoolwork and all that. Can't seem to find the cab forwards. It's not on the website. That's interesting. Used to be. Train World? Maybe you have some cab forward stuff? But rumor has it that Intermountain's going to be creating another run of their cab forwards as well. And that's kind of piquing my interest. I just don't know what decoders they use. Again, I wish... let's see. No, they don't have any cab forwards. Interesting. Okay, well, rip. Anyway, so yeah, there's some options. Because I do want a cab forward, a working one. I said I've got my MTH one, but it is just, ugh. So you say it's Loke sound as far as you know. Then I'm probably gonna wait for BLIs to come out. That's what they use for the diesels. Okay. That's fair. Yeah, then I'll just wait. Or what I may just do is buy an old cab forward and convert it to Blue Nami. You're proud of your old Hustler. Nice. Yep, I love those locomotives. The Hustler, the Shay, and the Climax. Those 3 gear locomotives are so freaking awesome. You just got it. Nice. Is it River Rossi? Or let's see, who else makes it? Bachman maybe? No, Bachman makes the Bachman. Oh no, Bachman makes the Bachman. Bachman makes the Climax and the Shea. So the Heisler's probably River Rossi. I think. Trying to think who else makes the Heislers. I don't think Bachman made one. Yeah, I think something in the future I want to do is if I ever do get G scale. Oh, Lionel. Oh, interesting. Okay. Didn't know they made it. What scale? Actually, I should ask that question. What scale? Are we talking HO? Because I know you've been getting some in HO. Huh. Oh, I'm not even. Am I thinking about? I'm thinking about the wrong thing. Is it diesel? Is that one? Is it the diesel switcher? Oh my goodness, yeah, I'm definitely thinking about the wrong thing. It's the Hustler, not Heisler. I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired. Now I'm mixing up my locomotives. Gotcha. That makes more sense. That makes more sense. Yeah. Yeah. And dyslexia. Yeah, that's a whole bunch of whoops. Whatever. Yeah, I was thinking about the Heisler, which is the geared look. When you said geared, I automatically went to like, oh yeah. Yep, the rubber band drives. Yep. I did not know that was even a thing until I saw SMT Mainline's videos. Like, oh my god, that's a thing? Wow. I knew about the pancake motors because I had plenty of those in Bachman back in the day. That's like, I knew that was a thing. But rubber band drive, that was new when I saw that. Absolutely. Okay. Let's bring up this one. Let's kill all of these. You can repair plastic trains with DB weld and use quick weld and slow weld for strip out screws. Nice. That's interesting. Okay. I think this diesel's got a mind of its own. I think it's cycling through sounds. Well, Lionel HO has bands on some of them. Nice. Okay, so what we're going to do, since now we have our signal, on the dwarf signal here, let's go ahead and do this. We're going to go ahead and put our yellow signal on. This is going to indicate that I'm going to do one last lap after this lap. And then we'll throw up the red signal. We're going to give it permission to pass the red signal, so that way we can stop it on our showcase seen on the wave modular. And I think we will call it a stream. So officially got the yellow signal. And we will do our last lap here momentarily. Because I am starting to feel it. And we do have a train show to go to tomorrow, so I got to get packed up, get all the batteries off the chargers, get the backpack ready. And we'll record our next train show of this year for 2024, the new Bromful's train show. And I kind of really want to, I'm trying to up one myself from the last video. So we'll see what I can do with this train show, just to keep it a little bit fresh. All I gotta do is get you something. The cool thing about it is that you'll need anything because you have the collector, which is pretty cool. I'll think about you, Pop John. But yeah, we'll get that video up probably by the end of next week. It takes me a good couple hours to get train show videos edited. They're tough. They're tough to get up because it's like an hour-long video. But I enjoy them. All right, our train is going through the L signal there. So it is officially on its last lap. And then we'll switch it to red. All right. So now we'll come up to a full stop on this last lap. You need the Texas Star cars. The MKT? Oh, or an HO byliner. Gotcha. One thing I wish I could do, I don't think I can do the flashing red. I could do a flashing yellow. But I don't think the flashing red is I can do that on the SE86. Let me check real quick. Red, green, yellow, flashing yellow. Yeah, I can't do a flashing red. That's fine. Alright, so we'll have our train stop at the red. We'll tell it to proceed. And we'll have it stop on the showcase. Alright, so stop at the red. We're going to go ahead and give it permission to go through at restricted speed. Again, 100% not prototypical. And now we'll go ahead and bring up our showcase here on the rails. And what I mean by restricted speed is just restricted speed, so it'll go kind of fast. Okay. Yeah, it's the was it the yeah. Yeah, I know the ones you're talking about. Was it dwarf signal? I think that's what they call them. I plan to get those lights for this modular. Just haven't gotten around to actually getting them. Alright guys, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the new F units here from BLI, Paragon 4, from exclusive Train World, the Texas Special train here, pulling our Texas Special coaches. So we'll go ahead and shut her down. The engineer has turned off the engine, and we'll go from there. So with it, guys, thank you so much for hanging out today. For those of you who will watch on the replay, thanks so much for watching the video. We are well on our way to 6,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. Again, you guys make that happen. So again, greatly appreciated. And from San Antonio, Texas, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next stream. Take it easy, guys.